People think cheating starts with a lie, but sometimes it starts with a silence that grows, that spreads, until it becomes louder than the truth itself. My name is Ryan, and this is the story of how my wife's emotional distance turned into something I never saw coming. My wife, Lily, used to be bright, warm, someone who lit up the entire room just by existing. But a few months ago, she dimmed. She stopped hugging me in the morning, stopped laughing at my jokes, stopped sitting next to me on the couch. Instead, she spent more and more time on her phone smiling at messages I never saw, laughing at things she didn't share with me. Every night, she said the same sentence. I'm tired. I need some space. Space. Not from life, not from stress, from me. I told myself it was nothing, but deep down, something was terribly wrong. Our 10-year anniversary came, and for the first time ever, she didn't even come home. I waited the entire evening alone, staring at the door, imagining every possible excuse she'd give. At 10:14 p.m., she texted me. Sorry, work emergency. I'll explain later. But later never came. She walked in at 2 in the morning, smelling like cold night air and expensive men's cologne that wasn't mine. When I asked where she was, she wouldn't even look at me. Ryan, please stop asking questions. And she went upstairs. Something in her eyes told me the truth was worse than anything I imagined. A week later, she told me she needed therapy. Every Tuesday, she left at 6 p.m. and came home around 8. But something was off. She left dressed too nicely, hair done, makeup perfect, the way she used to prepare for dates with me years ago. One Tuesday, I decided to surprise her with flowers. I drove to the clinic she told me about, but when I asked the receptionist, she looked confused. There's no session scheduled tonight, and we don't have a therapist with that name. My chest went cold. I walked out, sat in my car, and waited. At 7:38 p.m., Lily drove by and kept going. She wasn't going to therapy, she was going somewhere else. A few days later, she came home late again. This time, she forgot something, a white scarf, not hers, and it smelled like the same men's cologne as before. Inside the pocket, I found a hotel key card, room 412, Oceanside Hotel, 30 minutes from our house. She stepped into the shower. I stepped into my car. I drove without music, without thoughts, just the pounding of my heart. At the hotel, I walked the hallway like a ghost until I reached room 412. I didn't knock, I didn't even breathe. Then I heard it. Laughter, her laughter. The door wasn't fully closed. Someone had left the lock slightly cracked. My hand pushed it open on its own. Inside. She sat on the bed wearing the dress she told me she had thrown away last year. Across from her was a well-dressed man, smiling. His jacket lay beside her purse. They weren't touching, but the air between them felt intimate, familiar, dangerous. She looked at him the way she used to look at me. I stepped back before they saw me. My hands were shaking too hard to move. She came home hours later. I sat in the dark living room. When she turned on the light and saw me, she froze. I placed the white scarf on the table. Her face lost all color. Then I placed the key card. She whispered, "Please, let me explain." I said nothing. She fell to her knees, crying. "Ryan, I'm lost. I don't know who I am anymore. I didn't sleep with him, I swear. But I think I wanted to." That sentence broke something inside me. She wasn't lying. She was telling the truth. And that truth hurt more than any lie could. When she finally calmed down, she told me everything. The man wasn't a stranger. He was a grief counselor at her workplace, someone she talked to after her mother died, someone who understood her pain, someone who listened when I didn't know how. She said he made her feel seen, supported, safe. And one day, the boundary between patient and counselor blurred. He crossed a line. She didn't stop him. She told me, "I didn't have an affair. but I crossed every line that comes before one. She cried until her voice broke. I don't love him, Ryan. I love who I am when he listens. I don't know how to heal. I don't know how to be a wife when I'm broken. She begged for forgiveness, begged for therapy together, said she'd cut him off completely, said she'd do anything if I stayed. But the truth is, she didn't cheat with her body. She cheated with her heart. And emotional betrayal can cut deeper than physical. I told her the hardest sentence of my life. I can forgive your pain, but I can't heal from your choices. I packed a bag. She grabbed my arm, sobbing, Please don't give up on us. I whispered, You gave up long before I did. And I walked away. That was 3 months ago. We're separated now. She's in therapy alone. I'm trying to rebuild what's left of myself. I don't hate her. I don't even blame her completely. But love dies quietly when secrets grow loudly. So if you're listening to this, remember, people don't always cheat with actions. Sometimes they cheat with loneliness, with silence, with emotional escape. And those betrayals leave the deepest scars.